G'day crew. Okay, welcome to my last little video. What to do when you first arrive. It would be nice if I had something like this. Obviously the supply desk and teaching crew suggest a few things, but obviously probably for someone who's actually been there and done it, this is what I kind of recommend. So if you've seen this before, then by all means skip over. If not, my name's Shan. Arrived from Perth into the UK in 2019. Started on a mobility visa, like most of you will, and then transferred to an ancestry. Came over here with the intention to stay long term. This is my home. I've made it here, so I think it's absolutely brilliant. Hence the reason why my videos for you guys. I'm a PE teacher by trade, teaching a little bit of math at the same time. My first year has been a hit by CV, which has been a pain in the bum, but nonetheless, I've learnt so much, which has been really cool. Here's just a couple photos and that from when I first arrived. Went over to Munich, drunk in the Hofbräu houses, East London, down here with the art, nightclubbing in Bordeaux in France, snowboarding in Austria, and that's me and my girlfriend in the middle of January, soaking up the snow. A lot different to Perth's 40-degree temperature at the same time. Okay, when to travel over. Do not travel on Boxing Day. I made that mistake. I thought, yes, sweet, 24-hour flight, blah, blah, blah. Obviously with the time difference, it's obviously 8 hours difference here from where Perth is, about 10 hours, 11 hours from Sydney. But I arrived on Boxing Day and none of the trains, buses, nothing was going. Everything, just nothing works on Boxing Day, as it is pretty much worldwide, but yeah, nothing was going on. So me trying to get out to my accommodation where I was living is a pain in the bum. Uber is your friend. Okay, I eventually just called an Uber. I went, screw it, I was getting an Uber, but never get a cab. Always use Uber. It is so much cheaper, or any other kind of ride sharing app. I went to get in your typical black cab in London. Yeah, London black cabs, yeah, sweet. Jumped in, the guy to get me out to where I am, which is in High Wycombe. We're going to charge me 200 plus quid, and it's like 400 Australian dollars for a 30-minute, 40-minute drive. He's taking the mick. So I just jumped straight out. Caught an Uber, I think it cost me 30, 40 quid, so a lot cheaper. One thing to note, postcodes are completely different over here. It took me a while to wrap my head around. So over here, there's like a new postcode for every 10 houses. For example, my postcode is SL8 5QA. Obviously coming from Perth, and I'm Australia in general, I'm not sure about New Zealand, but it's just a 4-digit number, and that provides a whole range of areas. So for example, all of High Wycombe would be one postcode, whereas here it's like 1,000 different postcodes for the same area. So it makes it more pinpoint, which I guess helps, because there's a lot of places over here don't have house numbers. It's not your typical 6 house road. For example, I live in a flat something. Yeah, there's other ones that is like bungalow this, or like they're just names, they're not actual thing. So along with the name and then the unique postcode for that small, like literally half a block, kind of explains it all. When you travel over, keep in touch with supply desk. If you haven't realised, supply desk is the teach-in version of in the UK, and they'll be your contact. They'll contact you every week, every 2 weeks, just to check in anyway. But at the same time, if you have any questions, just hit them up straight away. What does this mean? What does that mean? Whatever. My little contact over here is Nav, with a few other people, and I just hit them up all the time. What's the go? What's the go? What's the go? And they help me out, which is really cool. Okay, language differences. I always have a bit of fun with this. Even though it's the same language, there are some little differences, which is a bit of fun. So capsicum, what we call capsicum, is sweet peppers to them, which caught me out in one of my first weeks here. I went to Subway. I went, yeah, what do you want on it? Oh, some capsicum. And the lady just gave me this sideways look, and I was like, that red curly thing there, that, yeah. She's like, peppers, it's just one of those fun things. Singlets, obviously, which we're a huge fan of come summertime, they call tanks. Strange. Beef sausages are not a thing. They are hard to find, and I love a good old beef snagger, and all the rest, and even for a bit of dinner, if you're going to do a little bit of flashback to the old Bunnings sausage, it is hard to find. It's all pork over here. You can find 1 or 2 brand of beef sausages in Tesco's, but they're only like 4 and 8 pack, and not cheap. So just something to keep in mind. I found it interesting. And then over here they call pants, or we call pants, like shorts and trousers and stuff like that, they call undies, or pants are undies to them. So I got some mud on my pants, and they're like looking at me sideways as well. So it was a bit of funny. I always have, there's a whole ton of them, I can't remember off the top of my head, but me and my girlfriend have a laugh at all the time because she's English. One thing that she does, and apparently is a thing over here, even at Domino's, they put sweet corn on pizza. I don't know if this is a thing worldwide, but in Perth, there's no. But it is a thing over here, and asked around, and a few people are like, yeah, it's common. It's like, right, stranger. But nonetheless. Things to know in teaching. So back home in Oz, we call schools that are accessible to the public schools. But over here, they refer to them as state schools, and they call private schools public schools. Again, it's just from old school, like your private schools will say, oh, public school boys, whereas what we refer as public school is, yeah, that's what they call a state school, but something different. Uniforms is a big thing over here. Right, so I work at a state school, what we call public school, and uniforms are a big thing, like full blazer, full 9 yards, like what only private schools would wear back in Oz, like every school has to wear here, and it's quite strict. Wage differences, there's no dancing around it. The pay is lower to what it is in Perth, at least. The pay in Perth for a first year teacher is quite good, and then obviously it just goes up from there. Not as good in the UK, in all honesty, but on the flip side of that, everything's so much closer at the same time. So, I mean, take a pay cut and then obviously have Western Europe on your doorstep. For me, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, even if you're just coming over here for two years, then just keep that in mind. You're not going to save a whole ton of coin. You're generally going to use it anyway when you're traveling, so just keep that in mind. Another few things when it comes to like the curriculum, HAS, so humanities and social studies, does not exist over here. Geography and history are different subjects. The social studies comes under citizenship. And then health, so as a PE teacher, I teach health and physical education. Health isn't a subject over here, whereas I know in Perth at least it is a curriculum subject that is mandatory to be taught. Health comes under a program called PSHE, which is virtually the same thing, but it's not just a subject. That also is a side topic underneath citizenship. And for those PE teachers who are looking to come over, sex education is not a solid part of the curriculum. It is delivered at the individual school's discretion, and which can be none. I know of some schools that just do not teach sex ed at all, which is gobsmacking for me. So obviously, I teach health back in Perth, which is compulsory from all age groups. So it was just something strange. It kind of hit me. I was like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's just the way they do it over here. Okay, life admin to do when you first arrive. Okay, get documents you need with your new address ASAP. Okay, you do not need a mainstream bank. I know they teaching and supply desk might say that you do not need a mainstream bank. It was for a long time. It was, but they now accept Monzo statements. So Monzo is, which they'll point you in the direction of, is brilliant. It's an online bank, but if you get a statement from them with your address on it, and that can be used as evidence, whereas a couple of years ago that wasn't the case, whereas now it is, so don't stress too much about that. Which you can use for your DBS. DBS will accept that. Okay. Official letter from supply desk or new school with your new address on it. When you get your DBS sent to your new place, make sure it's got your address on it, name on accommodation, lease, and a letter of provided address. It's really handy just to have in your back pocket. It doesn't seem like much, but if you don't have adequate things with your address on it, because obviously you don't have a lot of your address, your driver's license, nothing's got your address on it. So if you don't have that, it can be a bit of a hurdle when you do need it, kind of thing. Once you've got your proof of address obtained, register at your local docs, get your NHS number, call HMRC to sort out your national insurance number. Supply desk will help you with these kind of things as well, and they'll help point you in the direction. Okay, social connections. This is a big thing. So if you're here for short stays, hit up the pubs, talk with others who just come over, so other Aussies. You might be staying with another Aussie who might be here already. Join a group, sports team, community gym, so like a CrossFit gym or something like that, somewhere there's like a community base, you're not just sitting there with your headphones. Art group or whatever you're into, join a group, get to know the locals, get to know people ASAP. For your long stayers like myself, I suggest, same as all the above, don't get me wrong, but make a big effort to make friendship groups with the locals. Okay, so I joined a CrossFit gym when I first arrived, and then I was on the search for a football team, so there's me playing football. So I've got a really nice group of English friends. In all honesty, I don't really stay in contact with any of the Australians that I first came over with. So yeah, because I knew I was here to stay long term, and most of them were going to be leaving in 2 years anyway. So if I got stuck in a little bubble with them, then when they all then shoot off and bugger off, then I'm kind of like stuck. And I don't want to be stuck in a bubble. I wanted to express and learn new things from the locals and point me in the right direction in different bits and pieces, and just have a bit of fun, to be fair. So that's it for me. London is my home. As I mentioned before, this is my jam. Absolutely love it here. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I've did a couple of videos, schools on CV and how CVs affect schools, how to attack the UK, how I got here, and look forward to meeting you all when you come over. On the premise that CV is kind of over by then, we'll catch up at the pub along with Nav and the other crew from Supply Desk, getting all your documents, all the rest, and I'll pop along for a pint and have a laugh. So look forward to meeting you all then. Peace out. Be good. Take care. Bye.